Alright, this is the second video for Chapter 7 on advanced queries. I'm going to look at the parameter query and the unmatched records query here. First of all, the parameter query. I'm still in the same database, A07H1 replace. I guess I'll go ahead and rename it like the book always wants us to do here. Save database as, I'm just changing the H1 to H2 because these are not the exact steps in hands-on exercise 2, but pretty much the same type of thing. Okay, remember I created a select query where I just looked at customers from Wilmington. Well, a parameter query is a query that when you run it, the user provides the criteria at runtime. So instead of creating a query to list all my Wilmington customers and then another query for all my customers from another city and another, let's just let the user enter the city as the query runs. And that's called a parameter query. Okay, to do that I'm going to go in. Parameter queries are just select queries. So I'm going to go click Create, Query Design. Again, I'll just get the customer table. Keep this simple. The textbook hands-on exercises does something a little bit different, but same idea. I'm just going to do the last name here, the first name, and again the city. Under the city, I'm going to, instead of putting the exact criteria here, I'm going to enter the prompt, which means this is what will, when you run the query, this is the question that will go to the user who's running it. Enter city name. And these are, as you see, in square brackets. I'm also just going to sort this by last name again, ascending order. Okay, so when this query runs, Access is not going to know what this value is. So it's going to prompt the user for it. It's then going to put that value here in the criteria under city. So I can run this. Here's my prompt. Enter city name. I'll type Wilmington, like we did before. Click on OK, and I get just the Wilmington customers. If you remember, there were 76 of them. Okay, go back to Design View. I'll run it again. This time I'll enter Raleigh. That's another city in North Carolina. Click on OK. Oh, just 3 customers from Raleigh. I'll run it again. Let's see if I can get, I think I saw a city in there called Surf City. Yeah, so there's 5 customers from there. So you can see that when these parameter queries run, the user gets prompted for the criteria. The way you make that happen is just like what I have here under the city in the criteria row. In square brackets, just put the prompt. And in this case, I said enter city name. Okay, so enter city name. That's all a parameter query is. But you can see it'd be very useful instead of having a query for each city. Now you can just let the user enter enter it as the query runs. It's a lot more flexible than hard coding in the exact city for each query. Okay, I'm going to do an unmatched records query here too. I skipped over the crosstab query. We're not going to do that one. This unmatched query, what this does is it takes, here, let me close this query. I don't need to save that. And when records are related, it's going to find when you have records in one table but no matching records in the other table. Let me explain this by opening up my relationship window. I'm going to go to Database Tools here, Relationship, and let's look at this particular relationship. Customers to orders. A customer going to have many orders. And each order relates back to one customer. So the common field is customer num. Let's try to find customers who have a record in our customer table, but no matching records over here in the order data. So we're looking for customers with no orders. That's a very distinct possibility. Some companies might keep a lot of customer information in their customer table, but that certain customers may have never ordered from them yet. Maybe they're going to do a special mailing to these customers to see if they want to order something. So to create an unmatched query, I can go to the Create tab, Query Wizard, and there it's the bottom one, Find Unmatched Query Wizard. So which table contains the records you want? Okay, so the customer table. And which table contains the related records? The order data. Next. There's the common field, customer number. Just got to make sure that matches. This says what piece of information is in both tables. Okay. Click Next. What fields do we want to see in the query results? Let's look at all of them. I'll click Next. It gives you a chance to name your query, but this name that Access came up with is pretty good. Customers without matching orders. And I'll click Finish. And there it is. Looks like we got quite a few here. Yeah, the book says I should have 456. And I got 431. So I got something a little bit wrong here, but the idea is okay, we're looking now at customers who did not have anything in the order table. Okay. I may have got a different number because I didn't do all the steps, so that's okay. The steps we did were good. So I'll just remember an unmatched query sometimes, or basically what it is for is to find in two related tables a value in the one side of the table that has no matching records in the many side. Okay. The last one is a duplicate records query. And all that does is tries to identify a table that may have two records in for the same piece of information. For instance, on the last page here, the hands-on exercise, it's looking for two records for the same pattern of China in the pattern table. You can do those steps, they're fairly short there. But that would help. You don't want two, so say even two customers, you don't want two customers being the same. So you can look and see if there's matching records in, say, the address or address field or whatever. That would help you clean up your tables with records that shouldn't be there. That's what the duplicate records query is all about. Alright, so that would conclude Chapter 7. Still urge everyone to do the hands-on exercises to get a little more practice with this.